Hey guys, today I'll be showing another project I've been working on, and this video is for Ben, who owns this really nice Akai AX-60. So just going to go over for you, Ben, sure everything's functioning, and for you guys that want to watch, feel free. I actually do not have any demos of the AX-60 yet. This is one of the first. I've worked on a few of these things over the years, but they've always been local clients and just never really made a video of them. And also the other reason is they're just really reliable. Akai stuff is built very well. I have found that over the years. In fact, they're built better than some of the higher end synthesizers of the 80s. And I started out, my first synthesizer that was vintage was actually an AX-80. And I've still got it, and I've literally never had to make any repairs to it, except for the push button interface that had a solder bridge break. And of course, that's a common issue with those. But that's it. Besides that, the thing, they just work well. They really do hold up well. But basically what we have here is the AX-60 is actually using what they call a Curtis all-in-one synthesizer chip, which basically is a fancy word for its integrated circuit, and it has the VCO, VCF, and VCA all built into this chip. So there's no external circuitry, like discrete circuitry making up the voices. It's all on a chip, and then the voice board just has all the supportive circuitry to support that chip based off the design of the computer, etc., however you're controlling it. So it's a really clean design, and in fact it's the same chip you'll find in like the sequential circuit 6-track, same chip set. But anyways, I'm just going to go over for you guys, show you kind of how this thing works, give you a good overview of it. Now I didn't really do a restoration on this one. I'll just bring that for Ben. I really just did some good repair work to it, some preventive maintenance, and took care of some places that were critical just to make sure you don't have any failures. Clean all the sliders. Most of the problem with this one was actually just dirty contacts, dirty key contacts, you know, just stuff like that just need to be addressed, which is, you know, going to happen with a synth this old. So basically took everything apart, washed the keys, you know, cleaned the key bed, cleaned all the key contacts, took the interface panel off, cleaned it up real good, flushed and lubed the sliders so they move real clean and free now, no scratchiness. Also checked your preset data, it was still good, your battery was still perfect, but I went and replaced your memory battery anyways with a socket so it can be replaced in the future very easily if it needs to be replaced. But that's really what I did to this one. I didn't really do the whole, you know, shebang, so to speak. But we'll go over the interface here. I'll just kind of show you guys what this thing has for those that don't know. But we'll start over here. You got your master volume, and you got a level split balance because it's a stereo, thanks to the same chorus design as what you find in like a Juno 106. It's a very similar chorus. You got our Arpeggiator section, so you've actually got a built-in Arpeggiator with rising, falling, rising and falling, and then hold, so you can actually just lock it to do chords. You got unison mode, which actually will stack all the voices, all 6 voices, and of course you can assign the wheel depending on what you want it to do in split mode. You've actually got a split mode as well. So you got split mode, you've got really some really cool features on the synthesizer that you can already see. So you can do 0 to 6, which actually just makes the low keys without a voice. I guess that would be more for like MIDI, if you wanted to use this thing with MIDI. 2 to 4, that means you have 2 voices down here, 4 on the upper half. 4 to 2, kind of like this is kind of what you get into like with the Jupiter 6, very similar right here. And you got 6 to 0, which would be 6 voices down here, 0 on the upper end, and that once again would probably be for MIDI application. So you've got that. We'll go up here to the LFO section. So you've got basically you got one LFO. You got depth, speed, and delay. So you actually do have a delay on this. And you got your wave shapes. You got actually we'll go here first. So you got your sawtooth, reverse sawtooth, triangular wave, square wave, and it's actually got a sample and hold, which they call random. Is how that works. So that's your LFO section, and actually it ties into your modulation wheel over here. So you can actually set a depth, or you can keep your depth low, set a speed and delay, and then you can still use the wheel just to inject it into the oscillator's filter VCA. That's kind of how that works. So then we got the VCO section. It's just a single VCO. You got your octaves, which it's got a nice octave range. You got 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. You got sawtooth, triangular, square, and you got a mixture of triangular and sawtooth, which is a pretty cool sound. It does what it does pretty well. You got pulse width control, so you can actually set your pulse width. You can set the speed of your pulse width. So this is just a speed control for the pulse width. Then you got your envelope generator depth. This actually, we can set a pitch follower on the oscillator itself from the filter envelope. So that's pretty cool. You got a noise source on off, as you can see there. Now this is kind of interesting because this is like what you see even on the AX-73, where you have a sampler control. And what this actually is, it does not have internal sampler, guys. What it has a jack on the back. So if you had like a sampler of theirs, you could feed the audio into the filters and stuff and mix it with the oscillators. That's what this is for. And of course you got a balance. So you'd have balance A and B, which B would be your noise. So you can actually mix your noise and sampler however you'd want to do that. VCL is very simple. Cutoff frequency, resonance, key follow, which is actually where you can make the filter track the keyboard. VCO mod, this is kind of like a cross mod between the oscillator and filter, so you get L-film stuff, which is pretty cool. And you got a high pass filter, so you got a high pass filter there. Then we move on to the envelope. So you actually got a envelope polarity for the filter, and then we go here and we actually got ADSR envelope. It's actually got 2 envelopes, but it uses 1 set of sliders. So for example, we're on the VCF right now. You can see by the light. If we click that, it's going. These controls will now control the VCA. And of course, then we just got VCA gate, which would just be on off for the VCA gate. The depth level actually sets how much of the envelope is injected. For example, into the VCF, you could set your amount into the filter. So this is actually where you'd control the amount of envelope into the filter, basically. See how that works. And then you got your presets. So this is very similar to what you find on like a Juno 106 as far as this goes, where you got, you know, your MIDI channel selection, your bank numbers. But that's really it. This also is a graph to kind of show you how this works with a sampler here. So you got your voice outputs. There's a sampler in, external inputs on the back. It looks like it's a DIN jack that actually you'd use to plug in a sampler to. It's a proprietary system basically for Akai. But you'd inject it in here, and you can turn the noise on and off. That's showing the switches, which would be a digital switch, you know. VCO A, and the noise would be B. So B and sampler would both be B. Is how that works. I told you wrong a while ago. But then basically it goes out to VCL, VCA, stereo chorus, and that's kind of how that works. So that's really the synth in a nutshell. I will go over here and show you the L8C because it's a little bit different from what you find on like the AX-80. AX-80 looks very similar to this. It's actually, I think, even the same panel. The difference is that you have a pitch amount. On an AX-80, this is your modulation amount. So you can actually set how much of this wheel will engage the modulation. On this one, this just adjusts how much of the control, the cutoff frequency for the filter is affected by pitch bend. Is what this does. This has no integration to the modulation wheel. So I just want to show you that real quick. But let me put the camera on the tripod. I'll give you a demo of this thing so you guys can hear it. Like I say, it's a pretty cool synth. It's definitely 80s, but it's got a good sound to it. Let me go on and reset our preset here. So this is preset 1. This is actually one I built because it was missing preset 1 altogether. I think it must have had some kind of crash or something at one point. But I just saved this one, but all the other presets are there. Alright, now that's got the chorus on it. That's chorus 2. We'll actually cut the chorus off. But to me, it's a lot warmer than some of the more high-end synthesizers because it uses VCOs. Because we can cut the depth down as well as the delay and just have a clean. It has a real voltage control filter in it. You can hear that resonance is really nice. But that's just one preset. We'll go to 2. So basically the way this works, you have 1 through 8 banks, and then you have 1 through 8 preset numbers. So basically you just hit 1, you can stay in 1, and then you can just go 1, 2, 3 and change your preset. It's a really good sound. So here's preset 3. Preset 7, 8. But basically you can stay in 1 to select your different banks. But just like on a Juno 106, the chorus does a lot of work because it is just one VCO, so you don't have all that interaction of beating between 2 oscillators. But when we turn the chorus off, it's still got a really good sound just because of the VCOs and the voice, the way it mixes with the voices. You can change the octave. We'll go to 16 octave. You go down to 32. Really good sound. I mean, I'm really impressed with the sound of this thing. Here's 23. A VCF LFO on it, so it's actually sweeping the filter. 28. We'll go. We'll cut the chorus off. That was chorus 1, chorus 2. No chorus. But you can hear it. It sounds really good. Even the chorus in this thing sounds good as well. It's a Bucket Brigade chorus. We'll go to unison mode here. We'll go here and set our. Oh, we gotta turn it on. There we go. Anyways, you can hear that with the unison. It has a really good, powerful. We'll go to 36, or yeah, 36, 37. I'll go and go to 62 right quick. 62 is a good one. Yeah, how great this thing sounds. It's definitely got a sound. That's using the envelope depth for the oscillator, so you get that little envelope follower. Really good sound, like I say. Of course, you got some of your more cheesy presets. It's got a really fast decay on it. If I let off the key hard enough, you can hear the little bit of release. Pretty cool sound. Good sound. We're back in unison there. So let's say, now there's one preset that's pretty cool too. That one features sample and hold. See? So this one features the VCO mod, which I told you where you get some of the L film stuff. Like I say, this thing can do some sounds that even some of the more expensive synthesizers can't do. And of course, I'll go at a higher frequency just with one note so you can kind of hear this thing a little bit better. Like I say, just a great sound. You can get a lot of character out of the synth. There's one other one I'm going to try to find. Where's it go? So there's one in particular. That's the envelope folder as well. Nice brassy patches as well there. But that's some of your basic presets. I'm just going to reset to 1 here, and I'm just going to go through the controls, show you the. We'll start with our Arpeggiator. Just kind of show you this works. So it's got its own speed control, so it's got its own clock source, so it doesn't use the LFO, which is really nice. So we go up, down. Let me actually put a slow it. There we go. Then we got up, down, and then we got up and down. And then we got hold. If we go, oh, it's got to turn out, there we go. So we can You can turn these two on, and it'll actually, while you're in hold mode, and it'll actually do just a repeat. So we can actually change that just by going here or hitting that. You'll see the two lights come on for up and down. And you don't have to have the hold on for that either. That's actually just a feature as you go through Arpeggiator mode. But that's the Arpeggiator. So we'll open this filter up. We'll turn the chorus off right now. You go here, we'll turn everything down here. And I'll just kind of show you make this thing sustain for me here. Turn off the So we'll start just with the LFO. I'll show you this works. So we'll go to speed. Actually, we'll go depth first. We're on VCO. Speed. As well as delay. So you can hear that works. And you basically got the VCF. We'll close the VCF up just a little bit so you can hear this. So we'll go right now on VCO. We'll go VCF. And then we got VCA. So it's just sweeping the VCA. We'll go back to VCF, close it up. I'll show you the waveforms real quick. So we got just a hair. So we'll go to waveform. We'll actually VCF. We'll go here to the sawtooth, reverse sawtooth, triangular, square wave, and then sample and hold. So that's your LFO section. Open this filter back up. Now we'll go to the oscillator section. So actually here it has a pulse width modulation on it right now. We'll go to waveform. So this is sawtooth, triangular. Turn that off. Actually, you'll still hear the pulse width even in the other waveforms. So there's sawtooth, triangular, square wave. Now this one is affected directly by pulse width. So we go all the way out to where it's just, you can just hear that triangular wave behind it. We can modulate that. So really good pulse width there. Turn that back down to 0 on pulse width. Back to square wave. And then you got your mixture of triangular and sawtooth. Sounds pretty good. And then you got your envelope depth. We'll go back to square wave. So this is the envelope depth. We can go over here to VCO. We can say how we want that to attack and sustain. It's a pretty handy feature there. And of course then we got the noise. Noise. And as mentioned, the B would also be your sampler. So if you have the noise off and just the sampler on, this would be your sample input right here in B mix. So that's your oscillator. Pretty basic. Make sure my camera's still recording here. I've been having an issue with this camera just quitting on me. It's probably gonna quit here in a few minutes. But anyways, that's your VCOs. We'll go here. I'll show you the octave works, which you've already heard, but see how great that sounds there. Just in the, I love the octave range this thing gives you. Now the filter, key follow. Yep, and camera just timed out on us. But anyways, what I'm showing you is the filter tracking the keyboard. And that filter screams. And then you've also got the VCO mod, VCO mod off the oscillator into the VCO. This is kind of like that same feature I just brought up in my micro mode video, just not quite as in depth. But you can hear that you can hear we can actually make the filter ring off the oscillator. So you can hear how that works. It's really nice when you have envelope on the filter. We can go here and put the VCF back in there. So you get something like that. Of course, that you're hearing the filter with the envelope. We got the high pass filter. That has your high pass filter. So that's how that works. And of course then we got your, you've heard your filter contour. I'll go and show you your VCA contour right quick. We'll make this thing, let's turn the VCF contour down, turn this up. So make it have just a click. That's your attack. Full attack. I'm sorry, decay. So as you hear, you can get a pretty long decay time out of this synth. Now we're back to a click. We'll go with a slow attack. As you can hear. And of course we got the release time, so we can Now one thing about this thing being digital, some of these controls don't reset until you adjust it and start playing. And what I've got there, I've got a decay time with 0 sustain, and so you can actually hear as I hold in the key, it'll fade out, but if I left the note, you'll hear the release. So that's a good way to shape a character of your playing as well. Of course, the envelope depth, that actually just puts how much of the envelope's in that, so we can actually turn it down. You hear no VCA, and then you got your gate, which would be, I believe that'd be on and off. Yeah, that's just note on off. And basically, depth level on your VCA works like a volume, like kind of like programmable volume control on the memory mode. Without it, you won't have anything, and they got volume turned up. You turn up to depth level, and you can hear your. So that's the way you can set your overall volume of that preset if you wanted to save it. So we got the wheel over here. We can pitch amount, so you can actually go or 0, so we won't do anything. So that's a really handy feature. I always like that about the Akai Synths, having this pitch control amount, so you can actually set how the range of your pitch bend. Something like that. And of course then you got the cutoff. We'll close this filter back up. We'll turn off the pitch. We can set our cutoff frequency. And kind of how that works. Of course it steps through it because it's a digital control. So you can actually hear the zip ring in the wheel, which is pretty interesting. But the pitch wheel works great. And then of course we got the split mode. So we'll actually go here. Let me turn split on. And we'll go 4-2. Then you got your lower, so we'll set it takes a minute to figure this out, how this works. I don't have the manual on it, so I'm lower. I think also we can turn split on and off. So when it's flashing, you actually can set the range of your keys that you want to be your low. Your upper, and we'll go. We're on 2 to 4, so it'll be two voices down here with preset. It's actually preset 62. The upper is actually preset 73. As you can kind of see how that split mode works, we can change the split mode to 4-2, which would be 4 down here. 6 down below. Nothing up here. See here, we won't have anything till we get right there. So you can hear. And if we go to split mode 0 to 6, make sure I'm on it here. So this one here has nothing down here, but it has it up here. So like I said, I think that's if you use MIDI and you wanted to set a MIDI channel for your low end, I think you could do that. And then you can control it, something external for the low end. But 2-4 seems to be the one that works the best. Even on the Jupiter 6, it has this option. Because usually the bass, you don't have too many keys. Okay, you can tweak these presets even with the VCF. off, and now you're back. Now you're back into a regular. Now you're back into this preset 73. But anyways, I just want to commit it for you, Ben, show you that everything's functioning here. And for anybody else that might have been interested in the AX-60 as far as what it offers, I just want to show you that. Also, your auto tune works. I can hit this button. Now, don't give you any kind of readout like a memory mode or nothing, but you'll just wait till it shows up, and then basically you're in tune. This thing, it's pretty accurate. And also, just show you all keys are working here. Let me get it set up here. And see here, all keys are working. So that's basically the AX-60, guys. Just want to take a minute here and show it to you, Ben, and for anybody else that might have been curious. The only thing that's missing and I don't have any, and that's one slider cap right here. The slider's not broken, even though it's down below. These slider caps actually fit down inside, so there actually you can kind of see how that fits in there. So it's a long, elongated, and it just fits onto that shaft of that slider. So I don't have a slider. Unfortunately, that was the only one missing. But besides that, everything else is fantastic here for you. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and there'll be more here to come very soon. Take care.